Down Southland brought us water and grain to fill our bowl. And there lived a maiden who took away my soul. If I could but score this parched ground, now my seed would all be sowed. But the winds, they keep me yearning for a walk down Johnny's road. There's one can till this country I gave a call below, and the devil he came to see me, and this is what he told. I could fill this land with water if you but had a soul. But you already gave to the girl on Johnny's road. Ooh, Johnny's road. Ooh, Johnny's road. In March or cold September, the rains, they do not fall. I'm giving it back to the devil and gone to Johnny's road. Ooh, Johnny's road. Ooh, Johnny's road. A man of dude is foolish to be so sure and bold. He breaks his back in the summer and again when it's cold. Luck's a word's only good to the wealthy, I am told. I'd have lost my soul to the devil if it wasn't on Johnny's road. Southland brings no water, nor grain to fill our bowl. And the devil, he wouldn't gift us, not a harvest could we sow. I'm turning to the highway, I'll travel till I'm old. But I'll go without my heart now, for it's down Johnny's road. Ooh, Johnny's road. Ooh, Johnny's road. Ooh, Johnny's road.
So I have a funny story to tell about our visit to Crater Lake. We had planned on doing the rim trail and hiked all the way up there from Mazama Village. We found out there was a shuttle up there. But anyway, we did hike up there, and then we started hiking along the rim trail for, I don't know, 2 miles or something like that. And it was so steep, and there was snow across the trail that made it difficult to navigate. And we just saw the terrain that was coming up ahead and just said, this isn't going to work. So we were going to hitch a ride back down to the PCT on the highway. And we stood there for probably 20 minutes trying to hitch a ride, and we turned around and we realized there was a trail right behind us called the Lightning Springs Trail that hooked up right up to the PCT. And we've been following, I think this is Lightning Springs all the way down. It's absolutely lovely. So something that wasn't really going very well and ate up probably half a day has turned into a really great experience. And Crater Lake was awesome, but that rim trail was a little beyond our stage in life.
forever hold me. Wave like tomorrow, live like tonight shines in your eyes.
Hello, 22 years ago tomorrow was my husband's best friend Bill Leary's 50th birthday. So he and Bill went and climbed Devil's Peak, did a trail run up there. And then one of Bill's friends and I, Stu, climbed up Mount Thielston, which you're looking at. And I didn't get all the way up. I got right up to where those two rocks are sticking up on the saddle on the right-hand side, and there was thunder and lightning rolling in. And I also didn't like the look of that spire, so I stopped, but Stu went on and he went up to the top, and I huddled down in the rocks, and then we ran most of the way down in the mountain in the pouring down rain and a thunder lightning storm. So it was a really great memory. And Casey and Bill had a great run. I think it was about 28-mile trail run. Had an awesome time. So I just wanted to show you, this is our campsite tonight. If we look over to the south, we can see the remnants of Mount Mazama. And we were there earlier today. We were actually in that rim yesterday, but we hiked across this valley and then up onto the flanks of Mount Thielston. And I don't know how well you can see it, but Diamond Lake is right down here. I have some still shots of Diamond Lake that are better, and then I'll show you our campsite, which is just awesome. And Casey's gonna wave. Actually, he has his binocular out. Casey, wave. So we're feeling rather accomplished today getting up here. If we look up north, that's the direction that we're going. All right. This is the highest point on the PCT, not that mountain, but the snow I'm standing on, for both Oregon and Washington. It's just north of Mount Thielston.
Lift a glass of honest, swirl your skirts around, let your soul be lifted by the beauty and the sound. Let the eyes of your dream be blinded to the chains you're bound. Dance to the music, sing a song of light, whisper secret passion.
This is why we do this. So beautiful.
Cry to the heavens, find that you have fallen in the night.
We're loving these Central Oregon lakes, just beautiful. And we're a couple of miles from the halfway point on our voyage, and just left Lake Odell and had kind of a funny experience last night. They have a cafe there that has burgers and pizza and everything, and there was about 50 thru hikers that converged last night, and we had a designated campsite, big campsite for everyone to share, but they kept on telling us the cafe was going to open in an hour, we were all anxious and hungry, and we've been hiking hard to get there for a good meal, and ended up, I think they had some kind of equipment failure and they couldn't open up last night, so we were all like buying out all the goods at the little store that they have there. They had some freezered goods, so we were buying out Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches and trying to heat them up in the microwave, and there was a long line for the microwave, but everyone was in really good spirits and making the best of it and having fun and resting up. So some people were staying there. Looks like a lot of people are going to be having a 0 day in Bend, which means taking a day off, and we're going to do that too. We have a hotel room hooked and going to be there in a handful of days. So all's good and really enjoying these lakes. Absolutely beautiful.
Its bride makes me laugh when I look at myself. But now that you've opened your door, let me tell you what I've come here for. I saved my last chance like a drunken man's dance.
Woohoo! We just hit 224 miles, so we've hit the halfway point and we're celebrating.
Bring on the beer.
Woohoo!
But you told me before, and I won't ask no more. If you can spare me just one drink or two. And don't you go pitying the man who holds his life in a bottle of can.
As we hike through this burned off area, I thought I'd take a couple minutes to explain some things that are a little different this year. The 2023 hiking season on the PCT. The Sierras had a historic amount of snow, and only a few really brave and skilled mountaineer types made it through the Sierras, and everyone else had to kind of make different choices to pop back and do the Sierras later. So probably the largest group decided to just flip up north of the Sierras and do Northern California and then come through Oregon. And I think a lot of them are going to stop at Cascade Locks and go back down and finish the Sierras and then go back up to Washington so that they can finish traditionally on the Washington-Canadian border. But what that's meant is that we're just section hikers doing Oregon, but we happen to kind of end up right in the middle of their bubble. And so it's been great. There's plenty of room at the campsites, which are all dispersed. And the trail, a lot of privacy still. You know, you run across people during the day. But when we get to some of the remote resorts, I think we're kind of overwhelming them, because we're coming through a lot earlier than they normally expect. And there's a pretty large bubble. It isn't dispersed like it usually is by this point when it gets to Oregon. But it's been a lot of fun getting to experience the thru hikers culture, and what a great group of people they are, what a variety of people they are. All the awesome trail names. I think our favorite that we've heard so far is Glamazon, but we also have the M&M, which is the UK couple that are about our age, and then also M&M, the US couple, which are a little older also. But we have Smiles and Riot and Leopard and Girl Scout, Karaoke, Bandana, the list goes on and on and on. And it's a really fun aspect of the trail, is seeing how these people form. Sometimes they're families, trail families, and the fun that they have resting at resorts, eating tons of food. And also Casey has gotten some good comments on his age, because he might be one of the older people that we've seen on the trail so far. There might be one person that I've seen that might be close to his age, but one person said, "Oh, I'm glad to see there's no age limit on hiking." And then also said, "Well, it's good you're getting this done in your first 40. And Casey responded, "Well, it's actually my second 40. But just thought I'd get this video done when we're kind of hiking through a desolate landscape, but we are coming up on the Sisters. We're seeing up ahead. We're really excited to have a 0 day in Bend. When we get there, we're going to probably stop at Elk Lake, get some food there, decide if we want to stay there, and then go on to Sisters.
All night long. Monte, watching the snowboat sailing through the air. Sun in the morning, without any warning, people everywhere. Take the train along the coastal highway. A big boat takes me round the Cape today. Montevideo, Silverio, I am coming home.
So these two women, and there were two men in front of them, we've seen on the trail as we've gone, and they are doing what you call slack packing. They had someone bring their gear ahead. We're not quite sure the configuration they used to meet them down the road, and then they're just kind of trail running this section to catch up. And the trail run is, they said, I think over 40 miles that they're going to do today. I think that's what we understood. All right, so we're looking at South Sister, and I just wanted to share a very sweet memory that Casey and I have of climbing this mountain over 20 years ago. We went up this, it's a pretty steep climb. I'm not sure even how tall it is, but we got to the top, and there was quite a few people up there that day, and there was I don't know what kind of butterflies, but beautiful orange and black butterflies were migrating through, and they were all sitting in just millions of them on top of the mountain, and everyone got really quiet, and we were just sitting down, and these butterflies were landing on us. Almost makes me cry to tell a story, but it was really magical, and it was like everyone realized it up there, and we just sat there just kind of soaking in the experience. So always a great memory looking at South Sister. Here's the Where's Waldo of the PCC. Where the hell did that trail go? We're in a burn area in the South Sisters, and there is a lot of blowdowns, but making it through.
It only takes the wind, it only takes the night to make you lonely. It only takes the time we never knew to make you cry.
The three sisters do not disappoint. Today we've been hiking along the Sister, starting with South Sister, and right here, Middle Sister. To be completely honest, we're not sure where North Sister is, but it's all beautiful. And we just opened up into a meadow, and there's really gorgeous wildflowers. It's a really hot day today. It was supposed to be up to 98 in Sisters. I was a little worried about the heat, but we had a good plan for it. We got going early, got a lot of our miles in before 2 o'clock, and then took a 2.5 hour break, got our tent out, found a shady spot, waited for the worst of the heat of the day to pass, and so we're back on the trail. We're getting about a handful more miles before our campsite and feeling good.
They never grow to fruit, their blossoms still and new as they fall. Free from everything you know, freedom never lets you go. It darkens your delight, a shadow across the light, you know. It only takes the wind, it only takes the night to make you lonely. It only takes the time we never knew to make you cry.
This was our morning adventure, getting up through this lava field, this canyon, this lava field, and so beautiful to look back at it. Beautiful morning. Glad I got up early before the sun starts hitting this lava rock because it's nice and cool right now. And the sisters are just going to do a quick shot of what we're seeing as the sun comes up. It is just absolutely gorgeous. And if we look north right here, we can start to see the Jefferson peaks. Oh, and as Casey said, clear off to the right, you can just barely see Hood poking up there. That's so exciting.
There's one king to this country, I gave a call below, and the devil he came to see me, and this is what he told. I could fill this land with water if you but had a soul, but you already gave to the girl on Joni's road. Ooh, Joni's road. Ooh, Joni's road.
We just had our very first 0 day in the Sisters. We got here Sunday, came out at Mackenzie Pass by the observatory. We're really lucky to get a ride from a really nice day hiker and her dog Ruby, and got into Sisters, and we have some friends, John and Karen, that live in Sisters, so we got to have dinner with them and then have our 0 day. And then today is Tuesday morning, and John and Karen were really nice to get up early and get us out onto back on the trail and let us get across these lava fields before it gets hot. So really appreciative of that. And we're looking back at the Three Sisters and hiked all the way across these lava fields. I think we're almost through them, and then we can see Mount Washington peeking up right here. So we're heading into the Jefferson Wilderness.
To be so sure and bold, he breaks his back in the summer and again when it's cold. The luck's a word's only good to the will.
So we had kind of a tough morning this morning. We were trying to get across the lava fields, and my feet were not, I think ankles were not liking it at all, and I ended up with a lot of new blisters. And then we had blowdowns and a lot of exposed burn area, and amazingly we still are doing good for mileage. We're in the afternoon, late afternoon right now, but we came up on Santiam Pass, went across the highway, and Casey said, I know there's going to be some trail magic here. And I said, I think you're setting yourself up for failure. So we saw this sign, and I still said, I bet they're still not there. So we decided to go check it out. And sure enough, there was a guy who's supporting his friend who's hiking the PCT. That they both took time out today to do trail magic. They had ice cold beer and lemonade and fruit and everything, and there was a big group of people just sitting there laying in the grass talking, and it was really great. So Casey, you were right.
Ooh, Joni's Road. Ooh, Joni's Road.
One, two, three, four.
Pour it out, rise above you.
This is Three Finger Jack, and we're going to go this and move towards Mount Jefferson this morning.
Morning in your mind so long ago.
Okay, we're past Three Finger Jack and moving towards Jefferson, and we're in yet another burn area, and the blowdowns are just non-stop. This gives you an indication, and it gets pretty exhausting, but hopefully we'll get through this patch. We're really celebrating this lake and the wildflowers and this lake because it's a little after 11, and we've spent since 6 a.m. this morning climbing over blowdowns, and underneath that trying to get up over 1,000-foot climb, which wouldn't be bad except for the blowdowns. They were really impressive, and it was really exposed, and it's kind of a hot day, so this lake just looks heavenly, and we're gonna go and rest here for a while before we move on. We were told that the blowdowns ended right around here, so we're really celebrating that that's a possibility and hoping that that's true.
Sleepy dream, looks like forever. Oh, turn around. Have you ever gathered your moments?
This is Milk Creek at the foot of Mount Jefferson, and I camped here last night, and we're going to head out this morning for a long climb out of this valley, and probably about halfway through the day we're going to hit the Mount Hood National Forest, so we're pretty excited to start getting towards our home territory. We are going to stop off at Oregon Lake and get a cold drink and resupply.
You never told me, leave it on the wind. Forever hold me, wait like tomorrow, live like tonight shines in your eyes.
Oh man, is this a sight for sore eyes. Trail volunteers cleaning up the trail. This stretch north out of Mount Jefferson finally looks like they got some trail crews in here. All right, we're looking west. We're just north of Fort Jefferson. We're just kind of on the flanks of it, and this picture gives you kind of an indication of how extensive these burns are up here. We've been hiking for pretty much 3 days in mainly burns, and then there'll be a little bit of green, but it is pretty extensive. Our reward this morning. Lots of climbing. And we're getting to follow this glacier creek up towards the top of the pass off of Mount Jefferson. And you can see the glacial melt kind of melt, and it's really pretty. Okay, I need to make a shout out to the north side of the Jefferson Wilderness. We've been climbing all morning, so it's been hard to appreciate this as much as we should, but this is absolutely beautiful up here. Just the mountain scenery, and it's a gorgeous mountain, and there's meadows, and there's streams coming right out of those snow fields, and we seem to have hit wildflower time just perfectly. What else can I say? It is gorgeous, and there is burned off areas, but there's also a lot of green up here too, so would like to come back and explore this area more.
The eyes of your dreams be blinded to the chains in which you're bound. Dance to the music.
And just like that, we cleared the pass out of the north side of Mount Jefferson, and we just cleared it this morning, and there is Mount Hood, which is such a great site. That's our home territory, and also home to the best breakfast on the PCT, which we're hoping we can time. So we're gonna work our way down to Olallie Lake this afternoon, and maybe get a few miles after that, and hopefully be at Mount Hood in just 2 more days after this.
You can blame it on the moon. You can blame it on your youth. You can build another mountain. You can find another.
We are just leaving Olallie Lake this morning, and we're only maybe just over a little mile out, and we are celebrating. It is really common for people as they get to this section to call it the Green Tunnel and not have it their favorite part, but after 2 days of hiking through the Santiam fire, I feel like we were hiking on the moon. This is really a welcome relief as we move towards Mount Hood. We were really amazed at the Lake Olallie Resort. It is just surrounded by the Santiam fire, but they managed to hold it off, I don't know how, right around the resort. So there's a grove of trees right around the resort, and then the rest of the lake is burned. But strangely enough, it's still a beautiful place. The iconic dock looking out at Mount Jefferson, just gorgeous. We had breakfast sitting in the Adirondack chairs looking out at the lake this morning. Also a really great resupply place. They try really hard to accommodate hikers. You do have to pay cash. They're off the grid. But they do have a propane refrigerator and freezer, so they have cold drinks, beer and cider, so highly recommend.
Back home. I'd ask you to come on this bottle's last run. There's plenty enough left for two.
We're at Timothy Lake this morning, and we had a pretty amazing day yesterday. We hiked from Olallie Lake to Timothy Lake and got our first 30-mile day. The trail is amazing thanks to the Warm Springs Reservation allowing the PCT to go through their beautiful forested and gentle landscape. It was really nice and cool all day under the tree canopy and really nice loam to walk on. So beautiful. And we got in to Timothy Lake. A little challenging finding campsites. This is such a popular place. But had a little excitement in the evening after we got into our tents. I guess the firefighting planes, the water planes, are dipping down into Timothy Lake. So we had a whole squadron of those that flew right over the forest last night as we were falling asleep. And it was pretty impressive, such powerful planes, and heard them dipping down into the lake, and then they circled back out, and I guess they're fighting a fire east of us, east of Mount Hood. So today we're going to get right up to the couple miles from Mount Hood and be ready for Sunday morning brunch at Timberline Lodge. Looking forward to it.
I drew my last chance on a bottle of your fanciest whiskey. Found it on the shelf, and it turned me inside. That inebrious pride makes me cry when I look at myself. Now that you've opened your door, let me tell you what I've come here for. Spend my last chance like 1,000.
After a big climb yesterday, we made it to Timberline Lodge from Timothy Lake, and we thought we were going to have to camp out above the lodge where they put the PCT hikers, but we scored a chalet room in the lodge, which ended up being bunk beds, which we could have cared less at that point, and we ended up having 2 rounds of dinner. But just showing a picture of this incredible lodge and the beams and everything. We're going to have the famous Timberline Lodge brunch in about a half an hour, and then we'll head out hiking. And tomorrow we should be back to Cascade Locks and home. It seems unbelievable.
Big boat takes me around the Cape today. Montevideo, Silverio, I am coming home. Been to the mainland, it's such a strange land, everyone's alone. I'd hope that you'd be waiting there for me, not just send me back to sea.
This is Ramona Falls, right down from Timberline. It's one of the highlights that we were looking forward to seeing, and absolutely gorgeous. It's in this grove of huge timber. It's just really beautiful setting. A lot of people just sitting here enjoying this. There's Casey. Gorgeous setting.
Wishing as the moon goes, never letting go. A shadow across the sun, a shadow across the love you know. The flowers in your vase remind you of a face last winter. The smile upon your lips, the light within your eyes is just a lie.
We're looking down at Lost Lake this morning, which is a place we've been before with our camper van. Really cute spot, but super popular from people coming from Portland. There's a nice little resort there, and it's got a gorgeous view of Mount Hood, and really nice spot. It's cool to look down on it from the PCT. So we're closing in our last day, and got a long day, long miles, but we camped with some of our favorite PCT through hikers last night. That was a lot of fun out in the middle of the woods, and then made a deal that if we could get in time, they're a lot younger than us, if we can get into Cascade Locks in time, we'll buy them a beer at Thunder Island, beverage of their choice. So we're going to make our best effort to get through Eagle Creek and get walked into Cascade Locks so we can hold true with our promise.
It only takes the time we never knew to make you cry. Wishing as the moon goes, never letting go. A shadow across the sun, a shadow across the love you know.